in the first book of Kings, also known in Protestant Bibles and modern Catholic Bibles as the first book of Samuel, I believe, we have the scene of Saul, king of Israel, who's been rejected by God because he did not do what he was supposed to do, completely wipe out the Amalekites, I think. He, knowing that his kingdom is going to slip from him, and Samuel has now died, he wants to go and find out information about his future from Samuel. So he goes to Endor, which is the one place left where there is a necromancer, a witch, because all the witches had been killed or expelled from the land. And contrary to God's instructions, you should not engage in necromancy. And of course, we Catholics, as an aside, we know that the Protestants say, oh, you Catholics praying to saints, that's necromancy. You're doing what the witch of Endor did, what Saul did. Won't even dignify that with an explanation. Not here anyway. So Saul, he goes to Endor, and he just effectively seals his fate, because Samuel does tell him, you really should have done this. And that's Saul. But the reason I mention it is because in the chapter I'm going to read now, the vision given to Maria Valtorta on the 13th of June 1945, headed From Tabor to Endor, in the cave of the necromancer, encounter with Felix, who becomes John. And chapter 188 of the second volume of the Poem of the Man God. And we're having a vision of this place because in the previous chapter, Judas had expressed a desire to go there. He wouldn't tell Jesus why when Jesus asked him. Of course, Jesus knew, but Judas said he'd tell him when he gets there. So, without further ado, I shall read that chapter. Jesus and the apostles have passed Mount Tabor and left it behind them. They are now walking on a plain lying between that mountain and another one facing it, talking of the climb made by them all, although at the beginning the elder ones had not been too keen. Now they are happy they've gone to the top. The journey is now easy because they're on a main road which is quite comfortable for walking. It is early in the morning because I'm under the impression that they've spent the night on the slopes of the Tabor. That is Endor, says Jesus, pointing to a poor village built on the first heights of the other mountain. Do you really want to go there? If you wish to make me happy, responds the Iscariot. Let us go then. But is it a long way? Asks Bartholomew, who, because of his age, is not very keen on walking tours. Oh no, but if you wish to stay, says Jesus. Yes, you may stay. I will go with the master, says Judas of Kerioth immediately. By the way, Kerioth is another name for Judas of Kerioth. And it actually is suggested in academic writings that this was a possible name for him because of the region he was thought to be from. But it's interesting that, yes, that's the name that he actually possessed, as well as being the Iscariot. Listen, before making up my mind, I would like to know what there is to be seen. From the top of Mount Tabor, we saw the sea, and after the boy's speech, I must admit that I saw it properly for the first time, and I saw it as you see it, with my heart. Again a pause. That boy was St. John, who went into ecstasy over the Mediterranean Sea and what he was seeing. Here, I would like to know whether there is anything to learn, because in that case, I will come, even if it is tiresome, says Peter. Do you hear that? You've not yet said what you intend doing. Be kind to your companions and tell us now, says Jesus invitingly. Did Saul not go to Endor to consult the necromancer? Yes, he did. So? Well, master, I would like to go there and hear you speak of Saul. In that case, I will come too, exclaims Peter, full of enthusiasm. Let us go then. They walk fast along the last stretch of the main road, which they leave to follow a secondary road, which takes straight to Endor. It is a poor village, as Jesus said. The houses cling to the slopes, which beyond the village become steeper. Poor people live in them. Most of them must be shepherds who pasture their flocks on the sides of the mountain and in the woods of old oak trees. There are a few small fields of barley or similar fodder grains in favourable sites, and some apple and fig trees. There are only a few vines around the houses, decorating the walls, which are dark because the place is obviously a damp one.